Alright, so Company of Heroes 3 is not going to be a game that's going to blow your socks off like the first one that came out in 2006. It's not going to make you run out and upgrade your PC the next day like it did for me, the very first one. It leaves a bit to be desired considering the first one still looks incredibly good and plays great. Company Heroes 3 doesn't really improve that much on the first two, and in some part, an area, it seems like and it sounds like a downgrade as well. The game looks really bland in a lot of areas. Even though I have the graphics setting to maximum, a lot of area doesn't feel like it doesn't have enough shadows, and it just looks really underwhelming. If you go back and you look at Company of Heroes 1, that game still looks incredible with all of the shadows, and this one just looks very bland. Now, in order to even choose maximum setting, you need a GPU with 16 gigabyte of VRAM, or you won't even have the option to choose the maximum setting. You are locked out with high setting. The underwhelming graphics aside, the game actually runs really well. I have everything on max at 3440 by 1440p, and switching over to DLSR mode at 1.7, the game ran incredibly smooth without any stutter or hitches. So performance-wise, the game is incredibly optimized. Now, the game does support ultra-wide gameplay and menus, but the movies and things like that are still constrained to 16 by 9 pillar box. I did notice, however, during the in-game engine cutscene at ultra-wide resolution at 3440 by 1440p, the edges still have slight black bars. Not sure why that is, but it reverts back to ultra-wide and fills the screen completely after the in-game engine cutscene. Now, not only the graphic is a little bit underwhelming, but also the audio. If you also listen to the first game and then you compare it to this one immediately, the first one still sounds incredible, while this one has kind of a muffled sound to everything.
Panzer is moving. Don't let them infantry close the gap. Enemy squad.
Enemy artillery! Take cover! Now!
Ju-87, entering the bay. Ground attack! Step out! We're hitting my stock!
And all the tank fire and machine guns doesn't have a nice impact like the old one. And for these type of game, the audio is incredibly important, so it's a little disappointing that the game has inferior audio to a game that came out over a decade ago. Now, if you've never played a Company of Hero games before, then the tutorial is going to be lacking because it is very brief. It does not do a good job at all to introduce newcomers because it almost feels like the game expects you to know a lot of this stuff already, and if you're a veteran of the franchise. But if you're a new player, it doesn't show you more than just a few basic things. After that, it throws you into the main campaign. So it's very lacking in that aspect. Now, all this is not to say that Company of Heroes 3 is a bad game, but it's not a great game when you put it up against the first two. It has been 10 years since Company of Heroes 2, and if you were just to continue play that game, I don't think you're gonna miss out much on 3 unless you just want to play a new Company of Hero. But yeah, it's not a necessity to upgrade if you still enjoy Company of Heroes 2. Alright guys, so that is my quick take on Company Heroes 3, and like always, I appreciate you guys watching this far, and I will see you in the next one.